The scene is a sleek, glass-walled conference room. Vanguard Corp. Chicago. Outside, a blizzard rages, burying the city in white. But inside, the air is even colder. At the head of the table stands Mark, dark circles under his eyes, a ghost of 3 sleepless nights. He's just finished presenting Project Phoenix, a plan he poured his soul into for 6 months, a plan to save the company millions. At the other end of the table sits Mr. Vance, the regional manager. A man in a $5,000 suit who's never known a hard day's work. Vance scans the documents, a predatory smile playing on his lips as he slides them toward himself. Excellent work, Mark, Vance says, his eyes glancing at his Rolex. Truly excellent. This will save the company. A wave of relief washes over Mark. Thank you, sir. Does this mean the bonus? My wife Sarah's surgery is next week, and the insurance isn't covering all the anesthesia costs. I really need this. Vance lets out a cold, dry laugh. He rises, walking slowly toward Mark. See, that's the problem. Mark, the company is going through a restructuring. To implement Project Phoenix, we need to cut costs. And the biggest cost is your salary. The words hang in the air, sharp and icy. Mark freezes. What? You're fired, Mark, Vance says, casually pushing a cardboard box toward him. Security will see you out. Oh, and don't worry about the project. I'll put my name on it. I'm sure the CEO will love it. Rage explodes in Mark's chest. His hands clench into tight fists. He takes a step forward. I built this department. You can't just steal my work and kick me out in the middle of winter. I have a sick wife. I have a daughter. Vance just smirks, unfazed. It's just business. Get out before I call the police. Mark wants to scream, to flip the heavy mahogany table, to shatter the cold, sterile calm of the room. But then, he sees Sarah's face in his mind. He sees little Lily. He can't go to jail. Not now. Swallowing his pride, a bitter pill, he grabs the box of his life's work and walks out into the freezing snow. Utterly humiliated. Completely broken. The walk home is a brutal 5-mile journey through the biting wind. He chose to walk, to save the bus fare. Every step is a heavy leaden thud on the snow-covered pavement. When he finally opens the door to their small apartment, the smell of burnt toast hangs in the air. The furniture is old and worn, but it's warm. Sarah is on the couch, wrapped in a blanket, looking pale and fragile, but her face lights up when she sees him. Hey honey, how did the presentation go? The question shatters him. The cardboard box slips from his numb fingers and crashes to the floor. Mark collapses, burying his face in his hands, and finally lets out the loud, painful sobs he's been holding in all day. Sarah rushes to his side, her own worry forgotten. Mark, what happened? I lost it all. Sarah, he chokes out between gasps. He stole it. He fired me. We have nothing. No insurance, no money for the surgery. I failed you. I failed our family. Sarah hugs him tightly, rocking him gently like a child. From her bedroom door, their 8-year-old daughter, Lily, peeks out. She sees her strong daddy, her hero, crying on the floor. Her little face crumples and she runs over, hugging his leg with all her might. Don't cry, Daddy, Lily whispers, her voice small but certain. I asked Jesus to help us. He listens. Mark looks at his innocent daughter, a mix of bitterness and despair swirling within him. Jesus, he says, his voice raw. I've been praying for months, Lily. Why is this happening to us? Why? Sarah gently touches his face, her eyes filled with a strength he doesn't feel. Mark, listen to me. They can take your job. They can take our money, but they cannot take our faith. God provides for the birds in the sky. Won't he provide for us? That night, they ate plain rice for dinner. The silence was heavy with unspoken fears. As Mark looked at his wife and daughter, a new resolve hardened in his heart. He would not be broken. He would go out at dawn tomorrow and shovel snow for the neighbors. He would do anything he had to. For them, this wasn't the end. It was the beginning of a fight. The next morning, the storm was even worse. It was 5 a.m. and a brutal -10 degrees outside. Mark was walking towards the wealthy neighborhood, shovel in hand, just hoping to make $20 or $30. That's when he saw it. On the side of the road, a vintage Rolls Royce was stuck deep in a snowbank, smoke pouring from its engine. Standing beside it was a frail-looking old man. His coat looked expensive, but it wasn't nearly thick enough for this weather. He was shivering violently, fumbling with a flat tire, his hands shaking too much to work. Cars just sped past, splashing slush all over his nice shoes. No one even slowed down. Mark felt a surge of anger. Rich people. He probably has a warm mansion waiting for him. Why should I help? But then, he heard Sarah's voice echo in his mind. God provides. Mark let out a heavy sigh, threw his shovel down, and walked over. Step aside, sir, he yelled over the howling wind. Go sit in your car. You'll freeze to death out here. The old man looked up, his blue eyes sharp and piercing. I can't pay you. I left my wallet at the office. Mark let out a sad, tired laugh. I didn't ask for money. Just get in the car. For the next 45 minutes, Mark fought against the freezing slush. He changed the tire. He dug the car out of the snowbank. Soon, his fingers were completely numb, and he couldn't feel his toes. When he finally finished, he knocked on the car window. The old man rolled it down. Young man, what is your name? Mark. Mark Reynolds. Mark, the old man said, studying his face. You look like you carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. Why did you help me when no one else would? Mark looked down at his worn-out boots. Because yesterday, a rich man ruined my life, and today, I didn't want to become like him. Mark turned to leave, picking up his shovel. Wait. The old man called out. He pulled a gold ring from his finger. Take this, pawn it. It's worth something. Mark just shook his head. Keep it. You might need it for gas. And with that, Mark walked away into the swirling snow, leaving the old man staring after him, completely speechless. Mark walked away with nothing in his pocket, but he kept his integrity. He didn't know that the test wasn't the flat tire. The test was his heart. Sometimes, God breaks us down to build us up for something bigger than we can imagine. Friends, before we see the shocking end of this story, if you believe that Jesus watches over the kind-hearted, and if you believe that God can change your life in a single second, please, subscribe to this channel right now. Leave a comment saying I trust you, God, to claim your blessing. Do not ignore this sign. Now, watch what happened next. 2 days later, on Sunday morning, there was a sharp knock at Mark's apartment door. When Mark opened it, he saw two men in black suits, and standing between them was the old man from the snow. But he wasn't shivering anymore. He looked powerful, confident. "Sir?" Mark asked, completely confused. The old man smiled. "Hello, Mark. May I come in?" They stepped into the small living room. Sarah and Lily looked on, terrified. "My name," the old man said, "is Arthur Vanguard. I am the founder and owner of Vanguard Corp." Mark's jaw dropped. "Vanguard, but..." Mr. Vance said. "Mr. Vance," Arthur interrupted, his voice now stern, "is a thief and a liar. I saw the security footage of him firing you, but I needed to know what kind of man you were before I made my decision. That's why I was watching you with a flat tire. That was a coincidence, but your reaction was not." Arthur handed Mark a blue folder. "I fired Vance this morning. He is being investigated for fraud. The position of regional vice president is now vacant." Arthur looked over at Sarah, then at Lily. "The job pays $250,000 a year, plus a signing bonus of $50,000 to cover your wife's surgery immediately, and the company will pay off your mortgage." Pure happiness flooded the room. Sarah screamed, covering her mouth with her hands. Lily started jumping up and down on the couch. Mark fell to his knees, not in despair this time, but in overwhelming gratitude. Tears streamed down his face as he asked, "Why? Why me?" Arthur placed a firm hand on Mark's shoulder. "Because you helped a stranger when you had nothing left to give. You passed the test, son. Welcome back." The family hugged each other tightly, and as the snow fell gently outside the window, everything inside their home was finally warm and bright.